this video, I'm going to go through everything keywords in Google Ads, understanding what keywords are, the different match types when it comes to keyword selection, and then understanding why you choose certain keywords to grow your business. So let's start by answering the question, what are keywords? So keywords are the words or the phrases that you tell Google you want to show your ads for. And this is very different to search terms. And I'm going to explain the difference between keywords and search terms now. So keywords versus search terms. Starting with keywords. These are what you target. They're the words or the phrases that you add to your campaign. They tell Google when you want to show an ad. And your keyword example might be running shoes. And then the difference with search terms is that search terms are what users actually type into Google's search bar. So these are real user search queries that allow Google then to trigger relevant ads. So based on your keyword match type, and that's all about determining how broad or how narrow you want to focus in on a particular keyword, and we'll dive into that in a few minutes. But depending on how wide your targeting is, you can serve on a single keyword for a whole host of different search queries or search terms. So if someone types in or uses the search term best trail running shoes for men, there's a possibility that you can serve an ad for that person on the keyword running shoes. That leads us on to the next topic, which is keyword match types. And keyword match types control how closely a user's search query must match your keyword in order for you to be able to serve them an ad. And there are three main match types. The first is exact, the second is phrase match, and the last or third is broad match. And in simple English, Google classifies broad match as comprehensive matching, meaning that it can serve for a very broad range of search queries. Exact match is the opposite. It's very, very tight. So it's very closely related. So your keyword and your search term have to be almost identical in order to serve an ad. And then phrase match is somewhere in the middle. They call it moderate matching. So it's important then to use the correct notation when you want to select each keyword match type. So for broad match, we actually add nothing to the keyword. So you can see here it's just the keyword. Whereas for phrase match, you see we've got these quotation marks here. So that indicates that this is a phrase match keyword. And then lastly, for exact match, we have these brackets on either side, and that indicates both to us and to Google that this is an exact match keyword. So let's dive into each one individually. So starting with broad match. So Google says that broad match may serve ads on queries that are related to your keyword. So it's very, very broad. So it uses the example here that if your broad match keyword is low carb diet plan, well then you're not just going to serve for low carb diet plans as a search query. You're going to potentially serve for carb-free foods, low carb diet, Mediterranean diet books, how to cut carbs for beginners, carb-free meals. So you can see this is a really, really broad variety of search queries with differing levels of intent and differing degrees of, let's say, closeness to your original keyword selection here, which is low carb diet plan. So basically this is going to cast the widest net and try to attract as many relatively close search terms as possible. So you can see that it may not deliver the most efficient and narrow focused targeting, but it gives you the broadest reach of all three keyword types. Second up is phrase match, and phrase match sits somewhere in the middle between broad and exact match. So Google says ads may show on searches that include the meaning of your keyword. The meaning of your keyword can be implied, and user searches can be a more specific form of the meaning. So they say it reaches more queries than exact match, but less queries than broad match. So for example, tennis shoes will serve for shoes for tennis, buy tennis shoes on sale, red tennis shoes, or comfortable tennis sneakers. So these are all in the realm of tennis shoes. Whereas shop for sneakers, Google deems under phrase match that this is not closely enough related to tennis shoes, and tennis store, again, slightly too distant from your original keyword, and again won't show because it doesn't mean the same thing. And then lastly is exact match, and this is going to be the tightest match type of the three. In this instance, ads may show on searches that either have the same meaning or same intent, and this match type is going to give you the most control over who actually sees your ad. And again, square brackets is the syntax you're going to need to use in order to create exact match keywords. So using Google's example, shoes for men will serve for shoes men, men's shoes, men's shoe, or shoes for a man. So these all have near identical meanings or intent. Whereas these queries here are too broad to serve an ad under exact match shoes for men keyword. So having gone through the three keyword match types, you probably have the question of which keyword match types should I choose? Well, it all depends on your goals to some extent. It also depends on how mature your campaigns and your general account is. So if it's very early for you in your account history, you don't have much conversion data, or you're really focused on efficiency within your account, then my approach would be to focus on exact match keywords. These are keywords you know to convert really well from either Amazon, or you've tested campaigns previously and you're looking to just nail in your targeting from the very start to not, I suppose, waste any ad spend. If you're more growth focused, or if you have a lot of conversion data in the ad account and you're looking to scale, well, then you should be much more inclined to leverage broad match. Broad match works really, really well with any automated bid strategies, particularly if you're an e-com business and you're working on max conversion value or target ROAS bidding. Combining that with broad match is usually really, really effective. And then I find that phrase match is one that sits slightly in the middle, and it's something that we're using less and less as a team. We're just finding that phrase match is getting almost broader in its nature. And in truth, all of these three match types are getting broader. And that's all part of Google's shift towards eventually removing keyword targeting from our disposal and doing it entirely off their own volition. But for now, we don't really use phrase match. We don't have as much utility for it as we once had. It used to be a big part of our approach. When someone says, which should I choose? If you're sitting slightly in the middle and you're not sure if you want to be super efficient or super growth focused, I would say focus on 80% exact match. So focusing on keywords that you know convert really, really well, and then add some core keywords in broad match. And these keywords will allow you to go slightly beyond the scope of what you're targeting to help you find new search terms that convert, that can ultimately be sent back into the account as exact match keywords, and giving you new avenues to scale your search campaigns through. So in the next video, I'm going to run through keyword research, not just what match types to choose, but what keywords to choose to help you grow your search campaigns. So I'll see you at the next one.